What's going on? How's everybody doing today? It's CJ Halleck with CJHalleck.com and the Digital Bag. It's February 7th, 2019, and this is the Daily Hustle Report. Let's get to it.
I'm out here shining, 'cause I stay grinding. I'm out here shining, 'cause I stay grinding.
All right, so wrapping up for the day. Been a very good day, very busy. For starters, very long. Walnut had me up my dog. For those of you who have, he's not in here today, but he's been popping up here and there on some of these videos. He had me up at from 1:30 to 4 o'clock this morning. So it took me a minute to wake up, but because I ended up sleeping for about another 2 hours and then right back up and then took another 15-20 minute nap and sun started waking me up. But anyways, so went through. I had a sales call to do at 10:30, and then I had two in-person meetings. Luckily, my 1 o'clock canceled on me because my 11 o'clock ran to about 1 o'clock, but my 1 o'clock canceled as I was pulling in the parking lot. I did some website work for a client. A lot of cool stuff. Working on this one client website that we're fine-tuning a lot of stuff right now, and when it gets to the point where it's time to launch, it's another one of those big sites that I've done a lot of work in, from getting content done for it, pictures. At this point, I've redesigned the homepage probably 6 times over the last month. I'd say about 2 weeks. Because it's been up with the main design for about a week and a half, and I did a couple redesigns on the homepage today. But anyways, when that happens, I'm doing a blog post, and I promise you, I'll let y'all know on this. Also, if you missed yesterday's Daily Hustle Report, I did a quick video share. I'm not going to do that today, but I installed a progress bar on Digital Bag, which is going to make it easier for you guys when you get to the long form blog posts to see the progress of where you're at in the blog post. So you're not sitting there wondering how much more content there is. Let's see, next thing, we are now 100% in triple digits. Today is podcast episode, technically, it's the 101st podcast I've done since I started using Anchor the second time around. The first time when it was more like a Twitter for Voice when it first launched, before it started doing all the massive podcast stuff. I used it a lot back then when it first launched. But since it relaunched doing all the podcast stuff, sorry, my headphones is falling over here. This actually makes the 101st podcast. So celebrating that's massive right now. And then another thing, and I did a write-up on this on the blog, so you can get a little bit more information here, but it's something I wanted to kind of talk about. I was talking to a buddy of mine. I met online years ago. I think it was Twitter, is how he found me. He's in Washington State now, I think. He's moved since we worked together. I'm trying to remember where he was, but he's a plumber. And because I've made his website, I know his rates. And when I made his website and we first started working together, it was like 2013 or 14. Somewhere, probably 13, maybe 12 even. He was charging $125 an hour, which is fine. Like, if that's your skill set, if you can bill that and people are willing to pay, that's fine. My problem is I quoted him for some work at a discounted rate because it was going to be an ongoing project with a few hours monthly. And he started complaining about what I charged. And like the national average for a marketing consultant that does the stuff that I do with the web design, the social media, marketing, like every graphic design, like all of that, video work, everything, is anywhere between $100 to $150 an hour. I don't even charge $100. I charge $75, which is $25 less. And even then, I still do, have times and packages like the one I offered this guy that was basically $25 an hour. And so when it gets to that, and I'm sitting here going, you work 1 hour and you cover, based on our agreement that we had, that would cover 5 hours of my work and what you do in 1 hour, and you're complaining about how much money I'm making. I have a problem with that. I don't mind helping people. I really don't. But I just wanted to do a little quick rant that if it gets to the point and you don't have the money to hire somebody and pay them what they're worth, do the research and do it yourself. I'm not trying to be hateful. That's honestly the reason why I'm making the digital bag and the Blitz Challenge and everything else, is for the people who don't really have the money for that. But keep in mind, like, I've spent thousands of dollars, thousands of hours doing research. I spend probably at least 5 hours a week. Most of the time it's 10, 15, 20 hours a week doing research on updated strategies, digging into the different marketing platforms, looking at email marketing, social media, like what you can do with Facebook ads, like SEO. Like, I spend time on this every single week. Like, I have to put because technology changes all the time. And if I'm putting that much work in, it's like I'm having to go continued education, like doctors do, in order to stay up to date and current. So when you're hiring me, you're not hiring someone who's building you a website that is made for 2010. You're hiring someone who's up to date with the current, methods and the design, making sure it's not just responsive, but it's designed mobile first. That's the biggest thing that, kind of like my phrase for the year is mobile first. And I'll design desktop first because it's bigger and it's easier once I do that to bring it down and then look at it responsively to change it. But before I go live, I check mobile and how it looks, and then I go back and do the fine touches on the desktop stuff, because that's where you get to understand on content and different things, if it should be in the mobile version, or is it something that needs to be, like, if it's a crazy huge image on the website or something, you may need to cancel that out and basically not show that on the mobile, or not show that on the desktop. If it's something, you can do a call to action on a mobile, like, hey, call us, hit this button and call us, or whatever, where you can't really do that with a desktop. You can, but you have to use like Skype or something like that. But anyways, just keep that in mind. Like, when it comes to paying people for, remember, people have bills too. You're not the only one. Other than that, I'm done ranting for the day. It's just busy day, not really productive. I did, however, wrap up through 5 on the PowerPoint presentations for the Blitz Challenge. Let me go ahead and do this. So that's done, because, if you look 21 days away, time's coming. So this week was supposed to be the week that I started doing the videos. Honestly, I'm still at the flip on trying to decide what brand I'm going to build. I have 6 ideas currently that I'm bouncing around. One of them I am going to do regardless, but there's an e-commerce side of it, and I don't want to do e-commerce in the initial thing for the Blitz Challenge, because, one, that's way too much information for the regular mom and pop shops that are needing websites, small restaurants and, musicians or whatever, right? So I wanted to do the e-commerce on a secondary training. So whatever I'm doing, I want it to be something that's can be conveyed as a regular website without the e-commerce first. So I have a Kanban boards, which I don't have it in the background anymore. I've moved my office, still moving my offices around since I got the floors put in. But I use a Kanban board every day. It helps me keep my thoughts organized and helps me be more productive. And so I'm going to be releasing custom, not really custom, but high-end Kanban boards. Both in like a foam board that's going to be like a cheaper version of it, and then more for the people who really want to be fancy. I'll have an aluminum based board, and they're, I think, 18 by 24 inches, I think, are the actual size, something like that. But that's coming out. I'm just not sure if I'm going to release that as a educational website originally. To teach like why Kanban's important, stuff like that, kind of do a blog type thing with that, and then like in the additional training module 6 or module 7 with the updates, move forward with the e-commerce build out as a standalone training that's in the update module. So, but anyways, hope everybody's had an amazing day. Sorry for the rant there in the middle. Looking, just heads up, still looking good for the Lions Order album and Lions Order Entertainment launch for July 12th. The album will probably be like a week before that, but I'm still playing around with that, looking at a few different things. And also, if you're still watching this and you play guitar and you want a challenge, shoot me a message at CJ Halleck. I'm wanting to do some different stuff for this album, some really different stuff, and so I need some musicians. So if you are a musician and you play like piano, guitar, stuff like that, and you would be interested in collaborating on a track with me, shoot me a message at CJ Halleck on Twitter and Instagram, or you can shoot me an email, cj@cjhalleck.com, so we can see if it'd be a good fit and work on some stuff. But anyways, that being said, hope everybody has a great day. It's already getting close to my cutoff time, so have a good night, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Be great, stay boosted. We'll see you at the top. Take care.
I'm out here shining.